Welcome to this week's episode of Call to Serve, where we interview as guests those who have heard the call of God and who have a life of dedicated service to the Catholic Church. This week's guest is Father Thomas Kabika Bilingi from the Diocese of Geita in Tanzania. Welcome, Father Thomas.
Thank you very much.
Father, can you please tell us something about your diocese and your ministry, and where are you from?
Yes. My diocese of Geita is in Tanzania, East Africa, where our boundaries are with Kenya, Uganda, and then Zambia, Malawi. These are our boundaries countries. And Madagascar in Indian Ocean.
Okay.
And our capital town is Dar es Salaam on Indian Ocean. And our neighbors Zanzibar. So this is Tanzania, has different regions and dioceses. We have now 32 dioceses, Catholic dioceses, and Geita is one of them.
Father, can you please share with us about your vocation and your calling to the priesthood?
I joined education very late. And when I was in secondary school, the priests from Western missionaries and sisters and brothers were coming to teach religion in our school. And that they instructed about how to become priests. And I was inspired by their dressing. They were dressing as I like every time to dress the dress of a cassock. From there, I liked it. I joined religious education, and after secondary school, I joined a major seminary when I was 23 years old. And then I continued with the studies, knowing that my parents were not Christians, but they allowed me to continue. Secondly, fourth was President Julius Kambarage Nyerere, who insisted that in the future the country has to be saved by indigenous, by the citizens of Tanzania, as doctors, teachers, and priests. And this gave me more force to continue my studies. My family, first we are 6 children, 2 girls and 4 boys. And my sisters are married and my brothers are married. And when I told them to join priesthood, in the first instance they did right, because they said I better become a teacher and get a salary, knowing that the priests were not getting salary. But in the long run, they allowed me to continue with my studies. And also, in my village, I am the first one to be a priest.
Praise God. So
that was a shocking to my parents. But in the long run now, they allowed me and I continued. And my family were happy. Till now, when I was celebrating 40 years in priesthood, they joined me with all their efforts to congratulate me.
Father, during your period of formation, did you have any hesitation or doubts before you were surely convicted about following your vocation?
On my part, I had no much doubts, because I had liked. But some of the priests and teachers were hesitating, because they said I didn't come from minor seminary. I came from a government secondary school. And they were telling me I have no vocation. I didn't know even to pray, as the other boys knew how to pray. So I was like a second person to them. But what helped me is to put more effort. I have on my paper a souvenir I put, where there is a will, there is a way. So that has been my motto.
Father, I'm sure your ordination day was one of the most important days of your life.
Yes, that was remarkable. It was on the 4th of September 1977. The villages cooperated and they killed 16 cows were slaughtered on the feast. And I have never forgotten that. The songs, dances, and the gifts they gave me. And these ceremonies gave me power and energy, even to my vocation to continue, to celebrate 25 years in 2002, and now this year I celebrated 40 years in the priesthood. Very thankful not to disappoint them because of their first impression I got from them, and also I gave them that I like to be a priest, to be the first priest in my parish of Carebejo in Geta Diocese.
Thank you, Father, for 40 years of service to the Catholic Church. Congratulations.
Thank God, because it is God's grace, and we have to respond to God's grace, because God pours grace to us, and we have to receive.
I'm sure you've had many challenges. Some cases you've had to make sacrifices. Can you tell us some of them?
In my priesthood, yes. When I was ordained, I was appointed to be in charge of youth in the whole diocese of Mwanza and YCS for students. And I had no means of transport. I was just using a motorbike, a small motorbike. That was very challenging, being tall and traveling miles and miles, visiting schools and institutions. And after that, another challenge, I was transferred from that Mwanza diocesan headquarters to the village island Kome. That was a very big challenge because it was the first parish in the diocese. The old ruins, I found the ruins, and the people were very, with old mentality. I being young. From there, and then another challenge was I was transferred to Makopa Seminary. That was the challenge because I was used to parish work. Now to go to the school life, it is where I met the adoration sisters from Kerala, there being my teachers. So I had to put more effort. I was studying during the night and doing during the day what I studied during the night in order to how to implement the school and to run the school. And from there, after 4 years, I was transferred to another parish, which was in ruins. People had left the first because of some scandals of some diocesan priests. Unfortunately, they had their fought together, and I have to renew their mentality, and to build again.
I'm sure that was very challenging.
Challenging, but my principle, as I said from my studies, where there is will, there is a way. I never despair. This is Psalms in the Bible, Psalms 31, verse 1 to verse 24. That I never despair, and I never get discouraged. This is my spirit in Jesus Christ.
Father Thomas, you were explaining how you faced the challenges. How were you able to overcome?
To overcome, it was by using the YCS method. See, judge, and act. So I had just to use the people, to ask the people, and I got vehicle from Miva, Austria. They helped me. So I stopped the motorbike. I got the vehicle. Secondly, I have to use the parishioners. People first. There is a motto that you use the people first. So, putting the people, parish councillor, they come together, we talk, we discuss, and get a solution. It is not just one-man leadership, but it is of teamwork. Teamwork. And teamwork helped me in the parishes and in the school. And now I'm appointed to Sengerema Hospital as a chaplain, running the hospital, and then the clinical training center for boys and girls, and as for nurses training center. And I still use the same principle, teamwork. Teamwork.
Okay. So teamwork was the core of your success.
Teamwork is the core of my success, and also coming back to Jesus Christ. They said this, that I have the motto. Jesus came to be, not to save, not to be saved. So for me, that my motto is, what should I do to the place where I'm sent? Not what the place has to do to me.
Okay.
So this is, I have the motto of service to the people. And when you give service to the people, the response becomes more positive.
Father Thomas, you had explained that in one of the parishes, you had to build up the parish, and it was very challenging.
Yes. That parish is in Albania, where I found the buildings in the wings. I had to travel to go to my friends in Germany to get the fund, because the place was also so poor. It is in a poor with vegetation and like a savanna area, desert, there to be some desert. So they helped me. When they helped me, I came to cooperate with them, to join the effort with the little I had. Can you imagine that even the parish had the toilets for the people, and even for that? So, and then the roofs were most of grasses, no iron. So we have to put more effort. When I left last year, I left the buildings in good conditions. They have electricity, they have running water, they have good roads, and even that place, we convinced the government to start the headquarters of the new district. So they said this, instead of moving to go to 100 kilometers for the government services and social services, now they have just nearby 10 to 20 kilometers from different villages to the headquarters of that area.
So you were instrumental in the development of the whole area?
And also we started now, in order to bring rain, to get rain, we started the forestation. Even doing this, my jubilee, the donors from Germany came to inspect, and they were pleased to find that the forestation is going very well, with trees for timbers and trees for fruits and trees for the shade, trees for firewood, etc. And now they're getting even rain so often than in the past.
Father Thomas, can you please describe your current ministry and the charisms involved?
Yes, my current, as I said, is I'm the chaplain in the hospital. And this is a demanding job. First, to welcome and to visit sick people.
Okay.
They need the Spirit of Christ to save the sick, to console the sick. but also to empower those who are in need. Some they come without not much money. They need me to give them money, but I don't have no money. So it's just to empower them, their relatives, to contribute something so that they can help their sick people. Students, they are so demanding also for their daily life. What I give them is to support them. I use 4 terms. I support them physically, spiritually, psychologically, and socially, in order to that they come together. What you don't have, you ask from somebody. And what you have, you help somebody who doesn't have it. That is the life of the Christianity from Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 to 46. When I was sick, you helped me. When I was a visitor, you helped me. When I was naked, when I was thirsty, you helped me. Whatever you did to the least of my brothers and sisters, you did to me. That is the motto I give, and then it is working very well.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Father Thomas, can you explain about the vision you have for your ministry in the light of the Catholic Church?
The vision I have is this: to carry and to live Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ first came to save, not to be served. To be the servant, not masters.
Okay.
It is unfortunate that some of us, when we are given some posts, we think that we are masters, we are bosses. No boss terminology to me. Is that leading, to be a leader, to show the way to others, to cooperate with others, and that leads to a teamwork, which I'm talking about. To come together, to call my juniors, sisters and brothers, not just to call servants, not that terminology. So that I have a vision of making them to be in self-independent and self-reliant. I'm here, but things are running there in the parish and also in the hospital because I left them in the hands of this mentality. Doing what you are supposed to do. But when you engage, you embrace everything. Say, I have what terminology I said. I use joy. Jesus first, others second, and yourself, myself, the last. I tell the people we have to avoid sad. Sad is selfishness, anger, and disturbance. When you are a selfish person, it means you are not running the institution or the parish or the school in the line of Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ, I put him first. During the day, during the night, in my prayers, in my work, and I'm happy about my ministry. That's the thing. I have never said that I'm sorry for choosing and becoming a priest for all these 40 years. And why? It is the life of order, and it is the life of prayer and work. The life of prayer, I put it every time to pray. I never miss the rosaries, meditations, mass, and work after that, going to work. For self-reliance, because I have no salary. I get even people are asking me, why do you like onions? I plant onions at my garden. I have banana at my garden. I have cassava at my garden. Sweet potatoes in my garden. And this is what is St. Paul also stressed in Thessalonians, that he did by his hands, although he was expecting to get support from the parishioners, from the people. This is what I have to stress. Most of my priests, my fellow priests, and some social workers, to get time after work, hobbies, to have a hobby of gardening, cultivating, and also it helps for the body, so it is not a boring life. Yes, and you remember, my sister, the empty mind is the workshop of the devil.
That's true.
If you have nothing to do, you become the workshop of the devil. Yes. Another thing, I read a lot of books.
Father, you've had a fulfilling ministry and a life filled with experiences. I'm sure you've got a message for those who are considering the priesthood, the young youth of tomorrow.
Yes. I call, even when I was in the seminary teaching, I'm very happy that most dioceses got vocations from my school, as I considered those boys to be my college. My college. I was calling them the potential priests. Potential priests. Now I called upon the youth who are listening to me all over the world, especially in India, first to know that every young man is potential priest or potential to any social work. By maintaining PI, P-A-I, you can write it, you don't have the pen. P is personality, R, ability, and I, interest. And by using F-I-C, capital F-I-C, F is foresight, I, insight, and creativity. Let them be creative in their studies, creative in their character. And then I called upon the youth, as I did in Tanzania. Most of them, they join, even they still join, because that to have a kind of 4 Ds, D, determination, dedication, discipline, and devotion. These 4 words of D's are the inspiring keys to all types of vocations. And lastly, I say, keep the rules and rules will keep you. Let them keep the rules in school, let them keep the rules at home, and let them keep the rules wherever they are, rules, laws, and this will keep them. Because once you got sick, because you have violated the law of health, or you have violated the health of your body. For example, you commit the 6th commandment, you get syphilis, or gonorrhea, you can't be a priest. Or you get HIV, you can't be a priest. So you need to have your body and your soul in having with good soul, good body, in order to become a priest. So maintain the discipline, maintain your body, maintain your studies, and you become a good priest. Even if you don't reach to the priesthood, you become a good husband. Because they're talking about for priesthood. But for you girls, even if you don't become a sister, tomorrow I have been welcomed by different congregations. They are becoming sisters. That I assisted them, those girls from secondary school to sisterhood, because of having this motto of pie and fish and 4D.
Thank you very much, Father Thomas, for sharing with us your experiences about your successful and truly blessed ministry in Tanzania.
Yes.
Thank you, viewers, for being with us during this week's episode of Call to Serve. God bless you, and see you next week.
And thank you very much. Don't forget the Bible is the book of books, full of wisdom, full of the inspiration, so that this is what has helped me to be. As you read from the Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. I get and I do everything by the grace and the power of God. Thanks very much for everything.
Thank you, Father, for being with us
for
today.
sharing with me.